Let's try one of these. I'm the first one to enter. 3-minute tournament. And these are the players who are now jumping in. I was the first to enter, and we have all games rolling here. 5 games, 6 players. Here we go. All right. Okay. I want to help my queen out. And this pawn is unprotected. I don't see it as accessible. I want to get this bishop working, and I might want to do that with b4. No, I'm gonna be more confident. I definitely want to do that with b4. No, never mind. I'll just go b3. I don't want to have to worry about a couple captures on that square and this pawn moving, the bishop hitting. I gotta go faster. This is not so long off from being a very what am I trying to say? It's not so easy to focus on commentating while you're playing. This could turn out to be a very natural looking position from regular chess. So my knight is hit. I gotta watch out for forks. A little bit. Can mess up my pawn structure. And then this guy will become incredibly weak. Without my e-pawn around, when my e-pawn is converted to an f-pawn, my d-pawn suffers. If I can't get d4 in, I'll struggle. So my king is going to not castle. Or maybe he will. Or maybe he won't. I've yet to decide. He's going to go here. I need to babysit this pawn. Not the greatest thing to do. And let me get my knight here and follow through with what getting rid of this guy. Alright, so I've done just that. I'm artificially castled, and my knight is ready to rumble here. I get all my pieces working. Let's take that guy. Is the queen going to take? Maybe I could play queen here. Oh, am I winning material? Oh, even knight here. That looks pretty good, actually. Let's do that. I was going to be perfectly honest, I was going to play my rook to d1. But, oh, this is netting the whole farm. Right? That's a fork and a half. My queen is gone. I was hitting the rook and the bishop. The king does have to throw himself in the corner. Right? Yeah, that's GG. Queen is gone. That queen is gone. Alright, let's keep things really simple here. Mate threat. On g7, I'm hitting here. Everything is hit. I'm just up a full queen right now. Those tricky knights, man. Those tricky knights get the best of everybody. Everybody. Let's make sure he doesn't get me back in any way here. Alright, I am content with just trading. I did consider for a quick second of just taking that knight. Alright, the typical domino effect. Down one piece, the others fall. Alrighty. That was round 1. Let's see what's going on elsewhere. Right here. Dill's Gambit versus High Jerry. Alright. Ooh, my first thought is that h3 is a scary pawn. This pawn is super scary. Can you imagine a queen on g2? Just imagine a queen on g2 and how dangerous she would be. Queen takes pawn is not available. Rook f to e1. Oh no, it is available. Oh, way to make me sound like a fool. This isn't available. And then it's played. Oh yeah, it is. For a second I thought the rook was unprotected on e8. This queen has been converted into Pac-Man. e4, a4. Maybe a bishop is in her future. No. No. If queen takes bishop, bishop takes here. Black is now geared up on this diagonal, looking for a mate in some way on h1. h1 to g2 stuff. How do you break down this knight? He's a tough guy, and soon this dark square bishop is going to be rumbling. These bishops are kind of stuck. If you can't I don't know if I'm a fan of that. Oh, that's an interesting recapture. You can't, you take with the queen, there's eventually some fork at the end of it. Now white is returning the favor, putting pressure on this square. Now we have check, king here. I don't like throwing the king in the corner. Now there's back rank issues. Or maybe if the bishop is here, then the king is stuck for life in the corner. That's never a good thing. You never want to be stuck for life on the h1 square. Never. And black is now eyeing up that g2 square. We also have a significant time edge. And pressure here. Big pressure. Looking for a tricky mate again on g7, and black is saying, no, I will just simplify. 2.7 seconds as well. Not enough time. Tricky checks. Bishop's dead. Checks over here. Time burners. 2 seconds to 13 seconds. Less than a second. Watch out for stalemate. There's no stalemates. Game over. Black ends up winning that one on time and also position. Okay, that is it. Round 1 is over. And round 2 is beginning. All right. This one comes to mind. Anything unprotected. Nothing's unprotected. This comes to mind. Knight here is going to be awkward, but let me do this first. Or maybe this. Now let's do this. Get my knight here. These are pretty natural moves. And development. Shouldn't be too bad. I've seen it much worse. And now, okay, already I want to focus on this square. This d4 square is weakened. And I'm going to try and make him a bad piece. Let me get rid of my dark square bishop. If my opponent even allows me, maybe knight c3 will be played. I would really welcome a dark square bishop exchange, even at the cost of some tempo gaining moves such as f4. So, oh, I could even get my knight in here. Let me do that. Okay, things are already working quite well. With these two moves, d4 is weakened, and I really want to focus this. I want to focus... d4 has my attention. d4 has my attention there. And I need some breathing space for my bishop, so let's get b6 in. I need to castle. I could castle, but I'm not going to right now. Why not? I'm not sure. Maybe I don't want to castle. I could go queenside. Maybe. See, this move is going to be played, I think. Okay, this is... I have to move. Oh, why'd I go with that piece? Oh, I didn't want to do that. f4 could be played now. Mouse slip. Can I claim a mouse slip? It's actually pretty rare to mouse slip with the knight. It's those tricky pawns, or... You know, did you really mean to do that or this? The knights, though, he's tricky, but it's tough to mouse slip with the knight. That's a fun fact, isn't it? A fun blitz fact. Anyhow, f4, e5. My opponent could, in some sense, start to steamroll me here. Am I going to get steamrolled? f4, I'm going to drop all the way back here. Oh, you know why I did that move? Let's go back home, I think. If I go here, he's dead. There goes my plan, right? There goes my genius plan. Let's trade dark square bishops. Let's go here for a second and then get kicked away a couple moves later. That was wonderful. That was wonderful right there. How in the world am I going to get castled? Let's do this. Stop this knight from doing anything fancy. I could still castle queenside. Oh, that's a mate threat. Hang on. Hang on. We saw this in the last game. Threatening on g7. Was my opponent watching that game instead of playing? I have some tricky stuff maybe lined up. He's a defender right now, but he's also an attacker. He's also going to have pressure on him. Knight c2, and then what do I have up my sleeve? Nothing fun. Hang on, this diagonal is open, so he's starting to smile a little bit more. He's definitely starting to smile a little bit more, isn't he? Okay, if queen here, I do this, and then Or close to a queen trade. Maybe. Yeah, she's got to get out of there. She has to go there. She is going there. Let's get my bishop back here. That's where he wanted to go. That's where he belongs. Get him there. Get in the hole on e5. I just for a second there thought about Adam Sandler. Happy Gilmore? Who knows that scene? I brought that up a while ago, didn't I? Okay, take with the pawn. I want to keep the knight out. I actually have a time edge. It's usually my opponent who is flying. Okay. I still haven't yet to declare my my king's intentions. Do I even know what his intentions are? It just feels right to have my light square bishop doing something like that. Let's play here. And actually, I'm going to make sure this bishop is not going to do anything to harm me. Actually, here comes a deadly knight. No. Let's get rid of the knight. This is a closed position. I like my knight. The knight is more valuable than... He's still pinned. I'm going to take him voluntarily, though. I'm going to drop back. These guys are dead. Right? The bishops aren't really doing a whole lot. Now I can't castle queenside, but maybe I don't need to. This bishop is ready to rumble. Let's do this, though. Jump my knight in here. This is a nice support point. Pressure on this square. I castled artificially. He needs to do something more. Let's get doubled up here. More pressure. That was a mouse slip. You see what I was talking about? My light square bishop do something else. You want to trade? Oh. Let's trade. I'll get back here. Take like that. More trades? Oh, that's a free queen. They were down on time, though, right? Very little time. I'm usually the one who's way behind on the clock versus AGM. Alright. Oh, this game's done. Let's see this one. Let's see this one. Alright. Round 2. The round 2 game is over. I should have looked at the standings, but I don't want to cut away just yet. Less than 2 seconds. Never a good sign. Never. Alright, that game is over. Black wins. Alright, standings. Leaders. 2-2. 1-1-0-0. Alrighty. What do we do here? We do this move so that the queen doesn't have any bright ideas of grabbing this pawn. My bishop is helped out. Let's get this pawn rolling. I get my knight here. My queen has some breathing space. Could capture here and double my pawns, but that's a serious concession, giving up that dark square bishop. Light square weaknesses as soon as that move was played. Let's get him doing something. I want to do this, get my dark square bishop out. I need him working. Let's expand on the queen side. This is very, very English opening-ish. English opening-ish. Right? Bishop checks. Okay, this is going to be quite weakening now for my opponent. No castling. Their king is vulnerable. And without my dark square bishop around, I don't know that I've really expressed it in this way before, but without that one of your bishops around, the queen will, I've seen in many cases, like to be around on the dark squares if you don't have a dark square bishop. So let's castle. Let's get a4, b5 stuff in. And yeah, I want to go in this direction. I want to increase this bishop's mobility, more pressure on c6. If this pawn moves, then this is a wonderful home. My knight is getting kicked around, so let's run away. Knight here, I have to be concerned about that. The b file is likely to open. If it's going to be prevented, that means I get the d5 square, and I can look to maneuver my knights about so that they occupy that square. I could also think about d4. I could also think about just capturing right now and opening up the position at a moment where I have a lead in development, and even though I have this safer king position, trading queens I think is still quite alright, because I certainly have a very active rook, and my opponent is having to watch over this pawn with pieces, which is not a good sign. And now I could pin this knight and I believe win it. I think king here was needed. Yeah, this is just a pin and a win. This knight is 4 moves away from getting to this square, I should say, 3 moves away from defending this knight. But I could take him, but I don't need to. It's not going anywhere. Let me address this knight trying to give me any issues. He's not going anywhere. In fact, maybe I'll go here next. Oh, why did I miss that move? Okay, well, let me take the knight and go in this direction. That was silly. Well, he's still stuck. There's pressure here, so now this hole is there. I'm on the bishop. I'm on here. Just get my knights working. Let's get my rook active. Yeah, here seems good. I'm taking the bishop and then taking here. That's a thought. Get my other bishop on this square. My knight somehow here. 146 to about a minute. Could pick up, again, the 2 minor pieces. Rook takes bishop, rook takes knight. Bishop to d5. Rook here. Do I have to be concerned about a rook getting to that square? And now I could take. Again, this guy is pinned. So that turns out to be a free rook. Less than 45 seconds. All right. We have a resignation. Good game. Let's close out of that. That's round 3. Round 3. There's this game going on. There's still those 2 other games. And things are looking good for Team White. This is going to be a difficult opponent. Definitely. 25-16 soon enough. And then, yeah, this is a... Unless there's some Comcast gambit that White experiences, they are going to win this game, and they did. Black just resigned. One more game going on. This one right here. Dill's Gambit versus AGM Chess. So a much more tightly contested game here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 4. Material is even. The position can open up soon, but Black has some pressure here. This seems natural. This actually seems like a really good home for the knight. Oh, that's better. I was thinking this first, but you know what it permits? I think it permits this bishop pin of the knight. So that's interesting. This knight cannot be kicked from this square. A6, or excuse me, H6 seems like a good, useful move, a strengthening move. Defending the knight, allowing him to move without the H-pawn's capture. 34 seconds to 27 seconds. This is going to be a tight one right here. Can't capture. There's this pin here. Now 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces are hitting this pawn. This can now be captured. We could enter a rook and pawn, or a king and pawn endgame, and in that king and pawn endgame, who stands better? That's still a tough call, because these 3 pawns have a difficult time actually breaking through against double isolated pawns on the G file. This king has a really strong position. This knight's position is maintained. This bishop is pinned, and actually this pawn push is not long off from happening. That's prevented. You can't do G6 without dropping this pawn, so 11 seconds each. Knight takes. Rook takes here. Black is winning. Clearly. Up a rook. Time-wise, however, White is winning. 8 seconds to 6 seconds. Avoid the rook exchange. Uh-oh, don't go here. Oh, you're going to get mated over here. Oh, the rooks could have played here, and Black would just need to do what? Oh, they were throwing a time burner. 0.9, 0.4, 0.2, 2.2, no time. Black wins. Oh, yeah. Ah, good game. All right. Whew. Round 4 coming up. Oh, man, this is the guy, Dills, he was just playing a game. This is, this is going to be regular chess soon. It's going to be regular chess. As soon as I can get my queen out of the corner. Alright, let's get my bishop outside my pawn chain. I could castle without moving. I don't need to move my queen to castle. Knight f3. Yeah, this is going to be regular chess before you know it. Oh, my bishop has a ton of possibilities. I could play here, force the rook to move and come back. I'm going to actually do that. Okay, this is actually a useful move because it gets in the way of the rook and it removes castling privilege. So I could already now anticipate the black king having to castle queenside. And he's not having a fun day. Alright, let's get my knight here. Or do I want to play this? I want to do this. I want to stop the knight from kicking my bishop, or capturing my bishop. So let's do this. I need to be cautious about black being able to open up the position because this is not a developing move. It's strictly preventative. Let's get my knight working. My queen should also do something more. I think my queen wants to be placed on e2 before I castle. Otherwise, it's going to be much more difficult to get my queen working. So the plan here, the issue that I'm really wanting to solve is to get my queen on e2 and only then castle. I won't have any issues on the queen side. I better be able to know how to get those pieces working. That is the original setup on that side of the board. So queen e2, just reinforce my center. Now this move is not long off, and it may be happening quite soon. This could actually turn out to be problematic. Knight a5, bishop c2, d5. I can't do d3 to reinforce this pawn. So what does this mean? It means I have to give up my light square bishop because I don't want my center to crumble. And if this bishop is taken, now at least I get play along the a-file. Since we are castled on opposite wings, I need to be concerned about having my end of the board opened up, and I'd like to have this position open up for me here. I want the queen side to open up. Let's get my knight working. He's defended by my knight and bishop if this capture does occur. And maybe now I actually do avoid the bishop exchange so I could get these tempo gaining pawn advances in. Let's do this. So we're both going to be running with our pawns. Who is going to be the quicker side? Actually, I'm going to do this. I was going to do this move first, but I was expecting knight here. Knight b3 I think would have been a good reply. So do I keep going with my a pawn? I think I do. I need to open up the I need to open up a file. So this is the direction I'm going in. My opponent is also coming at me. It's a big race. Who's going to get there first? Pawn push here, knight here. Knight g6, g5. I don't have knight h4. So, and I don't want to make a pawn move, or maybe I do. Maybe I do after all. Oh, that's so scary, isn't it? It's so scary. I am going to do what? I'm going to run over here. Yeah, and if pawn push, I don't know if I want to move my knight here, because I have to anticipate, I hope I have everything covered, I have to anticipate a knight playing to f4, and I want my bishop to be able to take him. So let's trade here. Pawn push, I play knight here. This seems very active. A minute 30 to less than a minute. Knight here, I'm taking him in a blink. In a blink. Okay, these rooks are obstructed. I think I still keep marching here. Let me keep marching. These pawns are going to push my knight around soon. Oh, okay, he's got to go. I cannot deal with that guy. No way. Actually, maybe I could do this move. Maybe I jump my knight in here. I don't want my knight to be kicked around. I'm really scared about this g5 move. Let's do this. Let's do this. I want to get at my opponent's king. I'm thinking too defensively. Did you see what I was just doing there? Shame on me for trying to think too defensively, and my opponent is having none of it. None of it. I gotta kill that piece. He's just bad news. However you slice it. However you slice it, it's just bad news. Alright. Let me actually take here. I'm thinking about just taking this bishop. And I should. Yes. Take my knight, and then this bishop is going to be a really good defender. In fact, I'm going to have a ton of pressure on this pawn. A ton of pressure on this pawn. Let me get these tempo gaining moves in. So I'm down material, but I certainly have opened up the black king better than what am I trying to say? Let's capture with the pawn and keep my opponent in a pin. Knight here is the deadly threat, and this rook is dead. So I'm getting material back, and actually I'm up material now. So the last phase is to make sure. Okay, they resign. It would be to make sure I have a flight square. That was a really good battle. Very, very nice game. All right. So that game's over, and then there's one. Oh! I wasn't even able to look. Is this the last game? Okay. I have to get all my this is not the first time. Whoa! Hang on there. H7 was hit. Now I'm hitting H2. Watch out for H2. What's this knight up to? I could castle. I could definitely castle. Let's get my knights out. Let's get those tricky knights out. Knight into this square. I could do this. think this is a better square. Let me get castled. Watch out for the mate threat on g7. I'd scream. I'd scream if I missed that. Knight here could be an annoying move. Maybe I should have considered that more. Oh, they're going in reverse. That's always good to see, I think. This is what I was trying to do in the previous game. Let's see if I can make that happen. He's going to go here and I'm going to get kicked again. I'm going to eventually get kicked again with that 4. No, not in this game. Not in this game. I want to keep him around because he wants to jump into this square. Let me go here voluntarily because he's going to be kicked anyhow. Can I make sure this bishop doesn't kill me? Let's do this. Keep the knight out of that square. It also makes this move available. And this move is happening, isn't it? It certainly is. Okay, so my bishop is going to get killed, I think. Let's do this. I want to stop this advance. I don't want my opponent to keep a piece posted on this d5 square. We're about even on time, and I have to watch out for mates here. Let's line something up on g2 and force a weakness. Can I take advantage of this weakness? Somehow this d file is going to open up. Maybe knight f8 is a good way to defend against that h2 square. And let me keep this knight out. I think my queen's going to have to come over here to anticipate the eventual opening up of this d file. So I'm going to get my rook here. I don't know that doing this is a great idea because then there's a timely capture on c5. My knight, I think, wants to play to f8. I'm not sure what their plan is. Okay, yeah, now I know what their plan is. My knight wants to play here, in fact. Put pressure on this pawn and this pawn. So can I transfer my queen over there somehow? What's this knight up to? I think he might want to go into g5. Let me stop that altogether. I could actually play knight here, but that's super risky. Knight f6 would not work. I could do this. I'm opening up my queen. I hope it's okay. We're going to have a bunch of exchanges on the d file. Here, huh? Now that's interesting. I really want to take that knight. No, I should be jumping in here. Is there anything scary going on? There might be something with f6 or knight here, but now I have that covered actually with my last move. I'm putting pressure on this pawn. Pawn push here makes things very weak, right? Okay, my knight needs to go somewhere else. Maybe that's not a knight, by the way. My knight needs to go somewhere else, and then I move my bishop. Okay, they're making moves like that too. Okay, that's an I don't know what to do move. You make a move, I don't know what to do. Okay, I guess we're going to exchange. Pawn push I can't take. Right here I really can't do. Okay, yeah, I'm in a position where I just don't know what to do. Bishop here, I could take this knight eventually. Okay, queen takes, I could take this pawn. After this capture on the b file, I had that move available. This knight is really good, but can I really put him to good use? Who needs work right now is my knight on f8. I don't need to defend against h7 anymore, but it's maybe not long off, come to think of it. Okay, I think I take here first. Then I take the rook. The knight has to recapture. Otherwise I take the knight and then here. Or there's that. Knight here. I have this covered, this f6 move. We're still dead even on the clock. Knight takes pawn. I don't have. Maybe I could get my bishop in a different position. The queen is restricted to this square right here. I want my bishop on this square, I think. Knight e5 moves as well. I could move here. He is a passed pawn. Maybe I could get him going. Let's get my knight working. I want to jump into this square. I have that covered, don't I? My queen's unprotected, so I'm in a pin right now. I have to take like this. Am I going to be able to save this? Okay, let me go where? Queen here, get out of the pin. And then, actually queen here. Isn't everything defended almost? Oh, you know what I have to do? I have to move fast. My knight has to drop back here. g5 is going to be played. Let's keep going like this. 35, 37. Get my knight here. Am I going to be dropping that pawn? I have queen checks. Maybe I could do something with that. You keep running with this, right? Oh, now he's in trouble. I want to get my queen really active. My knights are connected. I'm not even sure what my queen is doing there. I could take that. I could maybe have some checks here. No, that's covered. I do this. This is real. Oh, I could give a check. me throw some checks in, maybe. More checks? 19 to 16? Hitting the queen. I'm on the knight. And then jump my knight in here. I'm going to end up in a fork. I could feel it. I could feel the fork happening soon. Oh, here comes a fork. A big fork. Oh, crazy knights. Tricky knights. Tricky, tricky, tricky knights. There it is. Did I tell it? Did I tell you? That tricky knight is there. Oh, I could have got the queen. I don't have any time. Oh, no time! What a game! Oh, that was an awesome game. Those tricky knights were dangerous. That double check. Oh, and that was the last one of the game. All right. What a tournament. 5 games, 5 out of 5. Very good. 4, 3, 2, 1, right in order. All right. Oh, those tricky knights. It didn't even come down to position at that point. It came down to time in a very, very even endgame. Whew. Good tournament. Good games all.